A very warm welcome to you all today. I'm so pleased to see you all. I just did a cursory pretend to clean up this microphone because that's the era that we're in at the moment. Total caution and looking after each other as much as we possibly can. So thank you all for being quite distant from each other but still chatty. Just means you have to shout a bit harder, louder with your masks on, but I do appreciate you wearing them all properly. This is an extraordinarily exceptional spot to be. Literally, the spot is exceptional. The spot is exceptional because for millennia, young men have been initiated into the deep knowledge of their world right on this spot. That was the dog and kangaroo dance. Just down there in the Botanical Gardens, the Eora Nation used to meet together in order to share their deep knowledge of everything. The watercourses, the ecology, what happened to the stars, the seasons, what plants were able to be eaten, what songs people were singing, what dances they were dancing. It was a live and happening spot down here. And this was the spot where the Europeans first encountered that deep knowledge, but they didn't have a clue what they were encountering. So I'm really happy that these days we do understand what was on this site and what was happening and what is still happening. Because we are indeed, as musicians, the people who create a deep cultural understanding of our society. And when I say our society, I'm glad I had angelic sounds come in just at that point. But when I say our society, if you look at all of your new friends sitting around you, you'll see that none of them look like you. And that's because we all come from very, very different places. We've all had very, very different educational experiences. We all prefer and play all sorts of different forms of music. And that's what's so exciting about us here, is that you'll finally get a chance to speak with people deeply, intensely about the music that you love and about the music that you will come to love that you don't yet know about. So, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land for that deep heritage that we have, their elders past and present, but especially for young Indigenous scholars in this room. You are the future, so I really welcome you very warmly as well. Today is going to be exceptional. You'll find out so much stuff and you'll forget it all tomorrow. When you forget it, don't worry, there's going to be lots of people and you'll meet them today and you can ask for help. Canvas is your best friend and your worst enemy. And Scott is absolutely correct. If you happen to push in front of me at the coffee queue, and I am there quite frequently, I will indeed buy you that coffee. And if you look particularly lean and hungry, I might even buy you lunch. So make sure you come in front of me in the coffee queue, and that just gives me a chance to get to know you a little bit better as well. So a warm welcome, and without any further ado, over to Matthew, to Scott.
To Sue.
To Sue.
Hello, I'm Sue. I'm just putting a face to the name on the screen. Not quite. We just put the screen up. There we go. Okay, that's me, Sue. And what I do here is I lecture in woodwind. And my specialism is clarinet and low clarinets, especially. But the other role I take on is associating student life. We all take different roles in this building. And across the campus, all the different campuses, all the different schools and faculties, we have people in my role. And we act like a conduit with the main campus support. So anything that you don't know about main campus support, you can always email me. So if you want to take a quick snap of the slide, gives you some ideas of what's going on in the building. So some of the main things you would be getting in the services would be support for disability. Now, the thing about disability is that many disabilities are hidden. So you really don't know if someone has a disability or not. So my first point is be extremely kind to one another. Be kind to the people around you, because you don't ever quite know what they're experiencing, what's going on in their lives. And we need to make really wonderful music, so we need to be feeling well, doing well. So disability support. Now let's think about that. Say you had some anxiety during high school. Say it doesn't go away. Say it just keeps on coming at you. And even though you're having a good time, you've got this sort of simmering thing. Now that's where you can get some support. And you don't think it sounds like it, but you can actually register through the university sites, and you can register for support so that you can have things like an academic plan drawn up. That helps you when you have an assignment due, but you're just not feeling up to it, you're not feeling good. And so that will give you some support in that way. You'll be surprised how many people will need disability support during the course. Some people would have already registered before they come in. Some people will need it because they break their arm or something like that, or something happens in your life that you just really don't expect. So really great things are going to happen here, but sometimes not so great things happen. And that's where these types of support come in. Really big support for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students, and that's really important for us to have that in our culture here at the Conservatorium. And counselling and mental health support, that's the same sort of situation. You might find that you're swimming along well, and then a whole lot of things get on top of you. For instance, you might have a good job that you're starting to come anymore. You might need to pay your rent, that type of thing, or you just find that a few things got on top of you and you can't get your work done yet. You can't enjoy music making. You're having a little bit of trouble doing what you really love to do. And that's when you would probably go online, look for the support, and you get free government sessions through the university. It's really, really important because you might think, I'm fine, I'll be right, I don't need these things. But believe me, the last few years, people have needed a lot of these things. And the university works really, really hard to get these things to you. Even though we sit here in the Conservatorium, and we have an amazing amount of support here in the Conservatorium, the university itself is the main go-to place. And I'll say that quite a lot to you because we don't want to just be an enclave here. We want to be part of the main university, going to campus, doing all the things that we can do from the Camperdown campus as well. Learning services, same. Any support you need, and you will get sort of bombarded with information about all these services. Just pick and choose. If something applies to you, if it's something you need, just flag it and go there and have a look. You know, it's just an enormous website. One of the reasons I'm standing here is I think to help you find things on the website. Half the time the student writes to me and says, what do I do about X, Y, Z? I don't know. I go to the website, have a really good look, and believe me, it takes me a long time. Hunt through the website, stream a bit, hunt a bit more, and then I find out what I could actually send through to a student. So that's the sort of role I take. Write to me, you know, silly questions are fine. Someone wrote to me last year and said, where do I get my textbooks? Okay, you know, at high school it's all sorted out, but here you really don't know some of these things. So don't feel silly, you know, ask your friends, ask other people, ask me, just send me an email, and I write back pretty frequently. So what else have we got there? International student support. We've got international students sitting amongst us. Hands up. Anyone made it this far? Yes, I know a few. Yes, hello, big welcome, and thanks for making it this far. Many more coming our way as the semester proceeds. There'll be people joining us and coming on in. There'll be people who still can't get here offshore, so we need support for those people to keep life rolling for them while they study offshore. And then we've got financial and accommodation services. So don't be surprised if you have to access these things. They're there for you. They're there free, and you just get online, have a look what you need, and there will be all sorts of bursaries and things come your way over the next few years. So newsletter, look at the newsletter, have a really good look there. Now look, when we're here in this building, you've got your main information site is the campus site, and we'll all mention it because you really have to keep on top of what's on campus. The main student hub site has all the support information for you that you would need, and then you've got your own sites for each of your units of study. You'll have sort of a squeal of sites to look at, and that information will come into your emails as well. So that is your first place to go for everything. The sites are, you know, set up pretty well. You can go hunt in there, find what you need. The next thing in our building would be the program leaders. The next most important person to talk to. You've got a campus site, do everything you can. Might you've got a question, a gnarly question, and people will be repeating this, I'm sure. Go to your program leader, and you're going to meet some of those people today. Ask those questions. At university, it's much more frequent that you would email somebody and ask a question, less likely to probably knock on the door of somebody. But you can also do that. Unit study coordinators, that's the person who's coordinating your subject. If it's about that subject, go to that person. And then people who will support you with any question. Don't feel you're silly, don't think, oh gosh, I should know this. Just ask the question. teachers, they can provide you with a heap of information. You're going to get lots and lots of information from those people, but don't swap them with your personal stuff. They're teaching you your instrumental stuff. You know, try and do your personal things through the support systems that the university offers, and through if you need answers to questions. Now, also we have the support channels through the university. The student intranet is your main university site that you go to find all your support. And it's not a very good search engine on the site, but you type stuff in and up comes a whole lot of options. So go in there, muddle around. When you're really stuck, write to me. I can help you. Student organisations, you've been meeting those wonderful people who are going to help you throughout, and acronyms are alive and well in this organisation. So acronyms we've already got here: USU, University of Sydney Union. SUPRA is for the postgraduate students, Representative Association of Postgraduate Students. CSA, the Joint Student Association, keep in touch with them. They have a lot of things that happen for you across your period here, and you'll be able to take up a lot of opportunities that they're throwing. So keep in touch with CSA, and an amazing, amazing bunch of people. You've got all the clubs and societies, so I'd really encourage you to go up to the Countdown campus Wednesday onwards is when they're having their main big welcome fest up there. Who's already booked to go or registered to go to something up at main campus? Oh, brilliant. Yeah, if you haven't already registered to do something in the main welcome fest, I suggest you do it, because once you're busy visibility, you might be able to get up there as often as you like. And it's going to be just such a buzz up there with a lot of our students performing in the welcome fest at Countdown. So register for something, or just go up there with a friend and wander around and enjoy yourselves. All right, I'd like to wish you all the best for your time at the Conservatorium, and have a really, really great welcome.
Thanks, Scotty. Hey, great to meet you guys. I've talked to more than 100 of you on email, so I feel like I know quite a few of you. I'm going to do show and tell because this is probably the last kind of high schoolish experience. Can I just see who's not straight out of high school? Hands up. Great. So you're already I'm just going to take you back a little bit. So I'm going to tell you a don't and 3 do's. Is that cool? Here's a don't. This is actually a piece of art that was done by one of the high school kids here that I cut out for a t-shirt. So I cut and pasted. Don't cut and paste at this university. This is a don't. If you do that, you're not adding your and. Your and is, we want to know what you have to say about stuff. So if you do the academic integrity module, which I used to have that job, which was horrible because I used to meet people who screwed up. And most people who screw up because they're disorganised or they don't understand the system, not because they're bad people. And generally people at the con have very high ethics and morals because you're making art. And we're kind of the arbiters of that stuff in our community. And you matter, and what you do matters. So we don't generally have many cases, but we do when people are up at 3 o'clock in the morning and bang their head on the keyboard and accidentally cut and paste something across. And next thing you know, you're in a system that is not fun. And that system can lead to lots of negative outcomes for you. So do your module and don't cut and paste. Now I'm going to tell you all the do's. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm reading at the moment, which is what you guys need to do. Read. Music can make you better. That's a book from an academic where I used to work at San Francisco. The Little Book of Talent by Daniel Coyle, which is what you guys have. It's very hard to get into this institution. You should feel amazing that you got in here. You should also feel amazing that you chose to do it. With some of the ATARs that I've seen, that you chose to do this means that you understand that Australia, this culture needs this. And you need to do it. You need to express yourself. I know that firsthand because I was a human rights lawyer. And I moved to music because I thought the world needs me doing that more than they need me doing the other thing. So this is something else I'm reading, which is reading again for like the 5th time. Edward Said, who's a music philosopher and a pianist, musical elaborations. So we've got Music Can Make You Better, which is kind of pragmatic. We've got Little Book of Talent, which is what you have. So how are you going to make that germinate into something? What are you going to do? What are you going to find so that you're the and in this institution and you're the and out in the world. So this is your job over the next 4 years. And the great thing is, you don't have to be fantastic today. You already are good enough to get here, but you don't have to be the first person in your class today. By the end of year 4, you need to know what it is about you that the world really needs to see and needs to hear. And that's the privilege that everybody over here, we've chosen to do this for our life because we think it matters. So here's the last one for the Grace Tame fans. This is not actually written by her, but Grace Tame made me think about this. Get Untamed, which is a book for actually women and other genders, to say, get out there and smash it, people. That's not to say that people who identify as men shouldn't go out and smash it. You should too. Last thing, very last thing. By the way, you need to contact me if you've got any kind of problem. Usually I triage you to the person who's appropriate, but sometimes in first year it just feels like, holy shit, what's happening here? Especially, the other thing is we've got, the 2 years above you have had a pretty tough time, as you did in school the last 2 years. So we need to step up and help you a bit more because they're still struggling with what the hell happened in that pandemic. So you guys come to me, come to Sue. Sue's the big boss of this area. Come to me if you've got a particular first year problem like, I don't know where to go for my class. I don't know if I've even enrolled in the right thing, all of those kinds of things, or I just feel pretty under the water because I'm not sure what's happening or I need a tutor for blah, blah, blah. So come to me, I'll triage you. I'm up in the castle. If you go up the stairs, and you can come to me anytime on the hour, as long as you're wearing a mask, because that's singing up there, we're dangerous. So up the stairs, and it's room 4007, or you can email me. This is the very last thing, because I'm so into the big idea of a creative. So if you're a pianist, go and hang out with contemporary people. If you're a jazz player, go and hang out with a classical singer. That'll be interesting. This is something I found on the beach, and I thought, it's Valentine's Day, so there you go, guys. I found that on the beach, and that to me is a piece of creativity and art that was made by who knows whatever you want to believe. But that brought me so much joy, and that's what you guys are going to do, starting from today and going right to the end of your career at the con, and then out into the world and change it, guys. Change it. We need it. So thanks very much. I'll see you all around.
Hi everyone, my name's Sarah. And as said, I'm here from the library. And what we're here to do is we're here to support you to succeed in your studies over the next few years. Through the library, you have access to over 4 million resources as a University of Sydney student. So these include their books, journal articles, we've got musical scores, we've got music recordings, we've got all sorts of things that you have access to. And more of these are coming up and being available online. But don't worry, if this sort of seems like a daunting amount of stuff that's sort of overwhelming, you don't really know where to start or how to, what you actually are particularly looking for, that's what we're here for. So we're here to help you to find these things, so to find what it is that you're looking for, whether it's in the library or online. So we're there face-to-face, so we've been closed with COVID, but we will actually be opening up next week, I'm pretty sure. We're going to start having face-to-face services in the library again, but we're also available online, so if you're sort of trying to write something at 9 o'clock at night, we're there from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. We'll be there online that you can actually ask us questions as well. Also during Welcome Week and early in the semester, as my colleague said earlier, there's a whole lot of things that are happening on the main campus. So the library is running a whole lot of events. Some of them are face-to-face, some of them will be online. We've got things that are sort of like how to use the library, where to start, how to plan your semester. Some of these are online, you'll still be able to book into them. We've also got some sort of social fun things. There's a library escape, you get little prizes. We've also got some speed meet and chat type events as well. So come along and join into those. You can actually enrol into those online. And then the main thing I just want to say as well is, we're there to help you, and we're really looking forward to seeing you in the library, on campus and on live chat. So thank you.
And look, can I say to you first up, a huge congratulations to each of you, because you have now enrolled at the #1 music education institution in Australia. And that is not an easy thing to have done. And you know that, I know. I pretty much know all of your names because I've seen all your auditions. I went through them, so I know what you've been through. So congratulations to each of you, and you should actually give yourself a round of applause for getting here. Now, why are we the #1 place? Well, this room is pretty nice, isn't it? It's pretty good. The facilities are good. And it's a very interesting thing, this building, because the way it was designed is that you'll find when you walk through the building, it's impossible not to bump into somebody. There's no secret exits where you can just escape. A big part of it is that you'll be here with your peers who are around you and with the other peers who are in the other years and also the other first years. And you'll find that the people that you're sitting, take a look around, the people that you're sitting next to are the people with whom, if you go into a career in music after, I guarantee you this, you'll be working with these people for the rest of your musical life. You know, one of the people that I went through back in the ancient times when I was in your position in first year, one of the people I went through is now the boss of the Sydney Opera House. Okay, so it's really important for you to make connections to other students. And, you know, with Facebook and what's the other things, Instagram, TikTok. I hate TikTok. I looked at it yesterday. Anyway, I'm going off. But, look, you know, it's very easy just to stay in your little bubble of your school friends or your friends that you had before. What's really important for you, I can't stress this enough, is that you make connections to other people in your year, and perhaps, as Narelle said, not even in the same degree pattern as you. Okay? It's really, really important. Also, we expect you, because you're at the #1 place, it's not just about what you get, it's about what you give and what you put into your studies. Now, by that, I mean, we really want you to be self-motivated. Now, you're here because you love music. I hope you are. Because if you're not, go off and do an arts or a science degree, okay? Because nothing wrong with doing that, but you're here because you're a very elite group within the university, and in fact within university studies in Australia. So we want you to work really hard, and the expectation is going to be there from the beginning. Right? So if you think you're here for a bludge, of course you don't. But if you do, go off and do another degree, please. Probably, is it too late to change, Shauna? Probably. But anyway, you're here to work hard, and we'll support you, but we have an expectation on you because you have this amazing opportunity. We need you to keep an open mind. Now, you're not in school anymore. You're here because you want to be. And hands up all the pianists here. Great. I'm not picking on you, but often I read comments from some pianists saying, I just want to play piano all day. Why do I have to do all this other music stuff? And that is the wrong attitude, because you'll find in your degree that you do a whole range of different things. And some of you think, why am I doing this? It's irrelevant. But you never know when you're going to encounter something in music which will change your musical life. And I know this, and every staff member here will tell you the same thing. Something like that happens. So please, keep an open mind. You're at the beginning of your journey to be professionals now. Right? So if you have a closed mind, it's really not in your interests. Now, you're all adults here, and so all the staff, you can call them by their first name. So you call me Matthew. You don't have to call me Professor. You don't have to call me Sir. Pretty weird when people do that, actually, but okay. And even though I'm the Deputy Dean and Anna's the Dean, It's not like in American movies where they call everyone Dean Reed. So they're laughing already because it's so funny. Okay, so call us by our first names. That's a sort of practical thing. Now, the staff here. I talked about the staff, and I'm going to show you how to find information. Sue's mentioned already a little bit. If I can just get this mouse to work. Okay. So, if you have a question or if you have a problem, what do you do? Well, number one, if you have a problem with your unit of study, and by unit of study, I mean like the subject, that's what we call it here, we call it a unit of study, you have to talk to your unit of study coordinator. And how do you find who that is? Well, I'm actually not going to show you about Canvas because your unit of study coordinators will show you how to use that. But there is another way to do it. If you go to sydney.edu.au/units, you can find your outline. Now, can I just ask you, sorry, I can't see your name. What degree are you doing? Performance, yeah. And what's your principal study? Violin, okay. So, what's your name? Beverly. So Beverly wants to know something about her Violin 1 unit of study because she's got some questions about it. So you type in Violin 1, and here it is, STRG 1661 Violin 1. And it's got all the information about that unit of study, and you click on it here for semester 1, and it's got the overview, it's got what's covered in there, it's got what your assessments are, if there's any readings you need to get, it's all in there. But look, the coordinator here is Gertz Richter. Now you notice something about this, all our emails addresses at the university are in the first name dot last name at sydney.edu.au, all right? So don't feel shy about contacting us if you need to. All right, so that's if you've got and you've got information there. So Beverly would contact Gertz to ask a question, or her teachers, who are probably listed, well, some of them are listed here, there's others that are not. Okay, but it's always first name dot last name. Now, what about if Beverly has a problem with her degree overall? Who can she speak to? Well, who she should speak to are the program leaders. Now, you can use the university search engine. It's probably easier just to use Google. Program leaders, Sydney Conservatorium. Here we go. Oh, okay. So if you go to this, our people, it's got the program leaders here. So it's got our people, it's got Anna, it's got me, it's an interesting photo. It's got Neil, Chris, Miff, Sue, Adrienne, and here we have program leaders here. So Beverly's enrolled in the performance degree, as you all are, and so you talk to Vlad. So this is if you have a problem with your degree overall, like you might have failed a unit or something, not that you ever will, of course, but some people do sometimes due to circumstances, and you want to know how to change things or something like that. You talk to Vlad. Okay, now if Vlad can't solve it, then you talk to me, and if I can't solve it, I'll bump it up to Anna, okay? So, but it's all on the website to find. Now, there's one other thing I'm going to talk to you about, and that is, in fact, your enrolment. Now, why am I telling you about this? Because if you get your enrolment wrong from the start, you can wreck your entire degree progression, which can mean in the worst circumstances, you might be here for another year, more than you need to be. And plus, you have to pay thousands of dollars up front to finish your degree. All right? No hex for this extra bit. So, what you do is you type in this, Sydney Conservatorium of Music Handbook, 2021. One. Oh, it's 2, isn't it? Sorry. Time has stood still. Here we go. Thank you. And here's the handbook. Now, this applies to you. Whatever's in this handbook now, because you're starting in 2022, applies to your degree. So, Beverly wants to know what to enrol in. And so she's in a Bachelor of Music Performance. and she's doing an orchestral instrument, which is violin. And it tells you what you have to enrol in here, but it's easier to look at this thing, standard enrolment pattern. So what Beverly should have enrolled in for this semester is Principal Study 1, which for Beverly is Violin 1, Music Theory and Oral Skills, and for those who are doing classical performance, that will be Harmony and Analysis 1 and Oral Perception 1 or 1A. For those doing jazz, it'll be Jazz Music Skills 1. For those doing music theatre and drum kit, it'll be Fundamentals of Music 1 or 2 this semester. Orchestral Instrument Studies, which is for Beverly. For those of you in drum kit, you don't do that. You've got a different pattern there. And this is music. Now, your enrolment for this semester, everyone, should be following this pattern for what's in the handbook. Okay, now you might think, oh, you know what? I really want to do a survey of film music in semester 2. But if Beverly does that, she's going off this grid and it's a big problem. So don't do it. Stick to the grid. Now, if you have problems, I know some of you had issues enrolling in certain units of study. Hands up if you're one of those. Yeah, it's being fixed, isn't it, Shauna? It's being fixed. You've got a bit of time. But it'll be okay, all right? Just make sure that you're in the right and standard enrolment pattern for your grid. Do you have any questions? No. All right, maybe I've talked enough. Thank you very much, and I hope you're really excited. I can't tell you, we are so excited to have all of you here. It's always a thrill to see you people at the beginning of your musical professional journey. So enjoy yourselves for the rest of the day, and yeah, have a good time. And don't forget, try to make friends that people you don't already know. It'll pay off in the end. Have a great time today and for the rest of the year.
The group you just heard here graduated from the performance degree last year, and I'll just tell you their names slowly because they're very influential musicians already on the scene in Sydney. The drummer's name is Ryu Kadoma, and the guitarist's name is Sam Killick, and the pianist is Matt Harris. Matt's actually gone on to do a mathematics degree at the moment. And you would have noticed, if you're new to jazz music, you would have noticed, wow, there's a whole lot of rhythmic layering going on there and very interesting compositional ideas of change of texture. That's all in the jazz canon these days. How exciting. So we've moved from 1900 New Orleans to contemporary composition and improvisation. So it's all involved in the jazz course now, in the jazz degree. And that's a wonderful product that we have there with Ryu, Sam and Matt. So the name of the band is RAM, R-A-M. So look out for them. So just welcome to everyone. Welcome to the jazz people. I'm trying to speak very quickly. We always have little complications with enrolments with jazz because we like to cram in a lot under a unit of study. So with your jazz music skills, we've actually got 4 subjects, and you're enrolling in 3 for this semester. And the new one this year is called Rhythm Theory, and you'll be up in the marquee there with Simon Barker doing Rhythm Theory. I think it's on Fridays, and the music you just heard is very much influenced by Simon Barker's teaching. So just be mindful that one unit code covers quite a lot of subjects. And I'm just an email away, kevin.hunt@sydney.edu.au, and I'll straighten you out with any problems there. The master list that you were sent, this is to jazz people, that's your Bible. The master list that I send you, that's the one you follow, not so much the uni timetable, because the uni timetable for us is only about the unit code, and we need to put you into all other classes. So that's where the complication comes. But I'm just an email away when something doesn't look quite right. So welcome, and I look forward to meeting you very soon. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and welcome. This is remarkable. Thanks for being here. Everyone showed up. So I am originally from Russia, and if you are standing in front of me at the cafe, there's a chance for a different type of degustation. No, joke. Everyone has been introduced today already, so I feel like I have nothing else to add to my role, except that, yes, if you have a problem studying classical music and performance, it is automatically my problem. And little life hack, your email after the is uni.sydney.edu.au, and the faculty, and there's been confusion about that, the faculty email is at Sydney, so there's no uni part. And of course you would get a notification that the email did not get delivered, but sometimes you don't, and the email is lost, so make sure that that's correct. Then for those who are, and most of you are in orchestral instrument degrees, so the curriculum is very, very dense and it's very, very busy. So we're here to, you're already great, you've been accepted, you made it, congratulations. But here the idea is that you go deeper and you get this incredible staff training you and giving you feedback. So it's a very performance-oriented, practice-oriented program. So your skills, you are at risk of getting your skills up here. So that's very important. And Narelle mentioned a book by Daniel Coyle, and I recommend, I love that author. He wrote The Talent Code. And according to the latest research, there is a little substance in your brain called myelin, which is responsible for skill acquisition. So it doesn't care where you're from or who you are, but it does care about what you do, how you do it, and how long you do it. So please find time to practice. We have incredible facilities here for you. When I started about 7 years ago, I was like, wow, I want to be you again. Because you get to play in these venues. You get to practice. When I studied in Germany, I would wait for 2 hours for a practice room. So here, it's much, much better. And the practice rooms are excellent. So if I see you there, I'm buying you a coffee too. So, and that's it, I think. So welcome, and good luck, and enjoy your year. Thank you.
I know that we've got 3 different degrees here, and it's a pleasure to say hello to all of you. But I just want to speak a little bit to our composers here. One more time, raise your hands, composers. I love you all. Fantastic. It's good to see you. So, I'm the program leader for composition, and I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, congratulations, as you said, for making it here. It's not an easy task to get into composition to what is often considered the best institute of composition in the country, one of the greatest in the world, really. And one of the reasons for that is that we have such great teachers, world-class composers, world-class teachers who really, really care about you and about your education. Now, they have a lot of experience teaching, they have a lot of experience being creative and developing their craft, but they also have something that's really, really special, and that's high demands, high expectations. They really care about making you as best composer, as best thinker, as best creative you could possibly become. And it means a few things. One thing, for one, it means that we care about developing your craft, your compositional technique. Incredibly important. Because with it, or without it rather, you may have a lot of creativity, but perhaps not the means, the rhetoric, to be able to instantiate that into the world from your mind. Second of all, the creativity itself. That's incredibly important. And that also means that it's your voice that we really care about, ultimately. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be finding your voice straight away, but it means that we're nurturing your own musical ideas, your own artistic predispositions to be able to instantiate something that's deep in your mind. That's the way that you see the world, back out into the world. Okay? So we really care about these things. Now, to achieve these things, it takes a long time. And it takes a lot of effort. We have an entire program to help you do just that. With your classes, as in group classes, the small tutorials, your large lectures, but also with your one-to-one teaching as well, which is now assigned as a first year, and of course you get more classes as you progress through your degree, more one-to-one classes. So I urge you to stay on top of the requirements, to make sure that you follow the enrollment pattern that Professor Heinzen was referring to earlier. Okay? Look that up, it's all there. This means, if you follow this, it means that you will avoid having, I'm always happy to have conversations with you, but it might mean just one less conversation about how to resolve some of the issues of displacement of your subjects throughout the degree. So, just want to say to you that my door is always open for you all. I really, really want to see you all succeed. If you need support, as in student support, if you need to perhaps make a decision and perhaps think that I may be able to help you in deciding in regards to some creative decision or some subject decisions and so forth, I'm always available to chat. Okay? At the very least, send me an email and say, "Hi Dan, how you going?" And please, by the way, it's Dr. Dan or Daniel, not Daniel. Daniel's when I get angry with someone. If you see Daniel at the bottom, I'm not happy. So it's Daniel or Dr. Dan, that's all. That's my preferred moniker. So, I look forward to meeting all of you and to seeing you progress through your degrees. Thank you.
Thanks very much. I realise everybody's probably getting a bit tired and looking forward to lunch by now, but so I'll keep it brief. Can I just have a show of hands now? People who are in the Bachelor of Music Education with a principal study in musicology. Okay, and people who are in the Bachelor of Music with a musicology major. Okay. There are some other people who are not here as well, but we're in the lead group in musicology. So it is important just to notice that those are two distinct groups of musicologists. So for those who are in the Bachelor of Music Education with principal study in musicology, your program leader who's in charge of your whole degree is Jennifer, who's going to speak to you in a minute. For people who are in the Bachelor of Music with major in musicology, I'm the program leader, and so I look after that whole degree. So the main thing at this point is just to reinforce what a couple of people have already said, make sure that your enrolment is correct for first year. So if you're in the BMUS Education, then your enrolment layout is pretty straightforward. It's all set out for you, you just need to follow the pattern. For the musicology major in the Bachelor of Music, the great thing about this degree is it's very flexible and it allows you to do a whole lot of other stuff, including even a second major in, say, science or arts or something else. That also, though, has a bit of a trap in that there are lots of possibilities for kind of messing up your enrolment and finishing up in the situation that Matthew talked about, where you kind of get to the end and go, "Whoops, I missed out on something I really should have done." So we're going to talk about that early on in the semester. So the most crucial thing at this stage is that everybody who's in either of those two cohorts in musicology, make sure that you're enrolled in Musicology Workshop 1 and 2 for this year, because that's the kind of core study for people in musicology, and within that then we'll get a chance to sort out any issues everybody has. One thing you will have noticed is that for people who study musicology at school, who may have ideas about what musicology entails, somebody like Hadassah, who spoke to us before, came into this degree in musicology major with her interest primarily in Western classical music. She's a violinist. By the time she's finished, she's doing a project about music in society and studying the way that African Australians form identity through worship music. So We have another honours student last year who did a project, a much more analytical thing about about Schubert's slow movements in his late keyboard music. So that's the kind of scope of things that we do in musicology, a whole range of stuff. People are working on video game music and all kinds of things. So that's what we're going to explore in musicology. So welcome everybody in musicology. If you want to get in touch with me, just find me on the website that Matthew showed us, the about our people site. You can find me easily. My office is down in the back corridor on level 2. I'm on the way to where Daniel is in composition, and you're welcome to knock on my door anytime, or they can send me an email and make a time to meet up. So welcome to everybody in musicology. Great to see you.
Hi everyone, Jennifer Rowley, please call me Jennifer. As experienced musicians, school classroom teachers and expert teachers, we in music education are going to help you find your voice as an emerging music teacher. So those in music education, great, lovely to see you and welcome. As Alan said, you will have a principal study, but the principal study of composition or contemporary or musicology, that's all lovely and you will meet people and talk to them, but you are in music education. So I'm the person that will help you find your way, and please do stick to the standard enrolment pattern in music education for your principal study, because that's really important. Can we say hello also to our amazing Dr. Jim Coyle up the back there? Hello. You'll get to spend a lot of time speaking to Jim about various things. So I've read that most people's lives can actually be seen as a 3-act play. Act 1 is mostly managed by others, parents, teachers, lots of learning and lots of doing what you're told and structure. Act 2 is actually all about how you go exploring who you are, increasing your independence, your future careers, maybe even thinking about partners, children, I don't know, taxes, just to name a few. And Act 3, well, that's at the end of the tedium when you retire and you really get to do what you want. You're not up to that yet. So enjoy this second act of your life, take advantage of all that's on offer, like Matthew has told you, and be brave. Like Nell said, take those musical risks. Embrace the freedom to experience new things and practice lots of kindness, because you're really going to need this when you're a teacher. Think back to your teachers. Hopefully they were kind. And more than anything, be really respectful of everybody else. They're also in their second act. 30 years ago when I got married, I exchanged my violin for a set of golf clubs. Interestingly, look where I turned up. And I don't play golf. So the second act is very much full of surprises. Be open and be prepared. I look forward to meeting you all.
I'm aware we've been sitting in.
Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Toby. Nice to meet you. I am the acting program leader for contemporary music. So me or Charles Fairchild, who's not here, good people to contact. Like you said, you can write me an email. You can knock on my door if I'm here down there. I'm also at the main campus in the Seymour Centre some of the time as well. So come and see me. How many people here are doing contemporary music degree? Cool. Hi, hello. And hello to everybody else as well. I care about you too. I probably have met some of you already on Zoom, but just trying to read people's eyes over their masks. Welcome. And it sounds like you've already had a really massive day with lots of information. But it's really, really exciting to see a whole group of new students coming here. And it's an exciting time to make music. This is a growing area of university education, is contemporary music, and we're so excited to have more students every year doing this degree. You'll meet these people along the way, but the other permanent people who teach are Paul Mack and JD O'Regan with me. They teach the degree, as well as lots of other people we bring in on a sessional basis. We have lots of fun making this, doing this degree. From day one, you're writing music, recording it, performing it together. And that's a really important part of the degree. Is it's a collaborative one that almost all your tutorials involve you making music with each other, either in the studios here at the con, or in the sound lounge in the Seymour Centre, or in a rehearsal studio. So yeah, the tutorials are really practical. You'll get to know each other quite, really well after a couple of years. You probably work, and you'll probably form bands with each other. That's what a lot of our students tend to do, or form musical duos or musical, projects or that kind of thing. So yeah, and we teach you, but we also just, I guess, facilitate an environment in which you can learn from each other and play music with each other. And I think making an environment and a community in which that can happen is such an important part of our jobs. And we always love seeing how that happens and hearing the kind of music you make. So yeah, I'm just already, just like to flash forward a couple of years and see that, so I'd like to hold this moment in my head, and then I can come back to it in a couple of years when I hear all the music you're making. So if people have any specific questions about the contemporary music degree, I am very happy to answer them now. Or you can think about it, you can hear from Dan, and then if you have any questions afterwards, you could ask me then. Yeah, cool, okay. But I'll be seeing you over the next few weeks. Well, actually, if in contemporary music practice 1, that's the composition for creative music industries 1, we have contemporary music practice 1. Paul Mack is your unit of study coordinator for that unit, so he's running it, and you'll be seeing him every week in the lecture, and you'll be seeing me a little bit this semester. But I'm around and very easily contactable, so please do. Yeah.
Well, hello! Hello, welcome to today's game show. Just joking. How's everyone going today? Enjoying your afternoon? Yay, good stuff. Well, it's my absolute pleasure to be here to say hello to the chair behind me and also to yourselves. So I would like to speak to everybody today, but particularly to my team members who are in opposition for creative industries and digital music media. So, because I can only see you right now, not before, can you please raise your hand one more time if you need to co-host? Oh wow, nice to meet you. Great, thank you. So, I'd like to say just a couple of things. First of all, welcome to the university experience, the conservatorium experience specifically, and congratulations for making it here. It's no easy task. You have to meet Vision Care, interview, and of course, get marks and so forth to get here. So well done. So your programs are very exciting programs. They're very recent, very new programs. Composition for creative industries and digital music are only a couple of years old, right? And we have, I think, the first big cohort graduating, finished last year. Okay. Now, in both of these degrees, you study a lot of different aspects of music making, in the digital realm as well as in the compositional realm. So we seek to bring together those aspects of technique, of technology, of craft, with the creative element, as well as to try to infuse with you your own particular artistic voice. So there are several things that we are after trying to conflate so that we can graduate as whole musicians ready to tackle the industry. Now, I'm speaking, I guess, to the future composers, the future composers of music, for video games, those who are arranging popular music, and a whole host of other applications for creative industries and digital music media. Both of these degrees are just as important as each other as any of the other degrees, including just as important as our composition degree, which is more about creating art music, more about contemporary classical music. They're all just as important. They're all part of a bigger picture, and you contribute equally to society, and in many cases, even more, particularly to today's society, given that technology has developed and evolved so much in the last few years. So, one really cool thing about this degree, and actually most degrees at the university, including is that in the fourth year, you're going to get to work with musicians of other, or your peers within the conservatorium of other disciplines. It could be from jazz, classical cellists, someone in digital musical media collaborating also with others, including students in the music making and CCI, etc., etc. So we really need groups from a diverse area of the university so that we can collaborate on specific projects that are interesting to you all. Okay, so the groups that you're in are not just randomly selected, but rather they are selected according to your interests, according to the sort of career plans that you may have for yourselves. Now, in our composition using technology unit, Conservatorium, to which CCI and DMM, these acronyms, belong to, we're a very, very diverse unit and also very inclusive unit. So we really care, we really take a lot of time to make sure that we all feel as if we're part of the community. Okay? So please, if there's anything that we can help you with, just add it to the table as well. And if there's anything that we can help you with, whether it's regarding support your studies or with regards to supporting some decisions that you have to make artistically, professionally, we are more than happy to assist you. So please just reach out. We're only an email away, or if we happen to be in our office, just knock on the door. And if we're available at the time, we'll be more than happy to assist you. Okay? I will see DMM and CCI on Wednesday next week at 12 for the first composition seminar. So you get notice about that, should all be in the timetable. And in the meantime, if you have questions, my email is daniel.rojas, or ROJS, at sydney.edu.au. You can find me in the university website. Thanks so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren. I'd first like to acknowledge that today we are meeting on the stolen lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and that is where your student organisations also work and make your student life better. I want to pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that to Indigenous people with us today. The university is built upon key Gadigal sacred sites and has been a place of ceremony, music, art and learning for far before these buildings existed. So we have to remember as we study and learn here that we all walk on unceded land and we are just a small part of a very ancient educational tradition here.
We are your two key student organisations. We have some of the greatest influence over UCID. I'm from the USU. My name is Prudence. I'm a fifth year arts law student. And we kind of deal with student life and socials and parties and music.
Yeah, I'm Lauren. I'm a third year arts law student majoring in art history. And we are the SRC, so the Student Representative Council, which you may know from high school. We're a little bit different. We deal with student advocacy and politics, campaigns. We also have a free legal service and caseworkers, which I'll speak a little bit more about in a sec. But that's kind of the split between our two.
So the USU, we're so excited to welcome here. You're going to have such an incredible time. I'm not just saying that because this is the first time I've been to an in-person event and it's really cool, but also because you're going to have so many memories. You're going to have incredible experiences outside of your classrooms, and that's kind of what I'm here to talk to you about. So that's what the USU does. We run things like clubs and societies, parties, music festivals, food outlets, graduation, monthly markets, elections, reviews, galas, speakers. So incredible texture to the university experience.
Yeah, so we are a little bit different. We're an unincorporated not-for-profit organisation run by undergraduate students for undergraduate students and funded by your SAF fee, which is a small amount of money that you pay every semester. It also goes to the USU and gets split amongst a bunch of organisations. So we do the advocacy, politics and campaigns to make your life and studies fairer and hopefully better. Every September, we also have massive elections where student leaders they run and get voted in to be the next year's decision makers. So the SRC in particular has a proud history of holding the university to account and changing the world through our activism and advocacy. So if you're interested in social justice, we've probably got something for you. Next week, as part of the USU's Welcome Week at main campus, we will also have lots of stalls outside the chemistry building on Eastern Avenue in Camperdown. So have a proper chat with us there and you can come grab one of the free tote bags. We're really interested and concerned with making sure that the conservatorium students feel really connected to main campus this year. That's one of our key focuses. So we would love to see you there and there are lots of activities happening. Cool. So I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail about the student services that we have available for you. So uni is a time of major transformation. If you're sitting here and you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, like that is a perfectly normal way to be feeling. And it's also a singular time, you know. You may never have as much freedom to indulge your passions as you do when you're a student. But as I said, it can be pretty daunting. Couple this with, you know, maybe you've moved homes, maybe you've moved to Sydney recently, maybe you've moved out, and, you know, that's pretty intense. But with the SRC, you aren't in it alone. So the first thing you should know about are our caseworkers. We believe that the uni is a place for students of all abilities and all backgrounds, and the SRC believes that each of you should have the best possible chance of transforming your mind through learning. So our caseworkers are kind of like professional social workers. They offer free and confidential advice and assistance on disability services, special considerations, Centrelink, migration, tenancy, academic appeals, misconducts. If you feel like the university is doing you wrong or you're a bit confused about some sort of process, we can help you out there. They can also help you deal with, you know, like academic progression and appealing marks, that kind of thing. The next thing is our legal service. So we have 2 lawyers and a number of paralegals. They're really experienced and they can give you confidential legal advice on essentially anything you need. They can assist with visa applications, they can represent you in court, you know, from something as small as like a parking ticket to maybe like some more serious criminal charge. You never know what's going to happen when you're at uni. Hopefully you don't end up in court, but if you do, we can probably help. We also are going to be running a live stream webinar throughout the semester called SRC Informs. You may have seen Jahan on TikTok if you're a regular user. He's got a big moustache and he does these little legal bites. Those will be 5 p.m. Monday, Wednesday and Friday this week, and then they'll run on a sort of reduced schedule throughout the semester. We're going to inform students about your rights in relation to protests, migration, housing, everything from getting your bond back to, you know, making sure that you don't get arrested if you want to go to a protest.
And so an entry point to get involved with student life is obviously through the clubs and societies that the USU runs. Your greatest interaction will be with the Conservatorium Student Association, and they come under the 200 clubs and societies. What I really encourage you is to join the CSA because they run, of course, balls, reviews, socials, that sort of thing, but also go out and join some random clubs. We have some stalls set up of Muse, Piano Sock, there's a lot of performing arts societies. I believe there's also a performing arts drink bonding session happening next week during Welcome Fest. But there's also random ones like archery or chess or, I don't know, anything that you're interested in. I think in my first year, I joined the French and the Italian societies, even though I don't speak those languages. I just thought the president was really cute. So those are the kind of like things that you can do. I really encourage you as well to join, oh, my slides, no, go back. The collectives, which aren't here, but do you want to speak to collectives?
Yeah, cool. So I mentioned earlier that if you're like interested in social justice, we have a couple of places that you can get involved there. Essentially, UCID is really well known globally for our like radical campus culture and the way that students really care about political causes that affect us in our everyday lives. So particularly as like people involved in the creative arts, we've all seen how over the last few years, it's kind of laid bare the political aspects of like your existence as a creative person. So going forward, the collectives are kind of the lifeblood of the SRC, and it's the reason that we're known for that vibrant student life. From the freedom rides in the 60s, which was Charles Perkins, you know, gunning for Indigenous justice, to climate strikes and school strikes today, we have always hit the streets to defend our interests, and you can be a part of that. So our collectives kind of organise around issues that impact your life, from fee increases and course cuts, welfare payments, sexual violence on campus, to climate action, military divestment, First Nations justice. You know, though we often forget it, I really want to stress to you that you can actually change the world just as much as it changes you or seems to change itself. And really, really encourage you to say yes to new opportunities in the coming weeks. And, you know, you never know who you'll meet. So come join our collectives at main campus.
And I'll rush through this really quickly, but Welcome Fest is happening next week from Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. I believe there's a shuttle taking con students to the Camperdown campus. this week. Oh gosh, you're right. Sorry, this week. There's going to be heaps of stalls, so you can join the collectives, you can join the clubs. There's also going to be 2 massive music events. So on the Wednesday and the Thursday, we're getting some professional Australian artists and some professional Indigenous artists who are going to be performing. We also have some student acts, and I think some con students who are going to be opening a lot of those acts, and that's one of the opportunities that the USU provides. Open air cinemas, we also have some live gig nights after hours, after dark at our outlets on the Camperdown campus for con students and for any kind of students to perform. So that's the schedule. So on Wednesdays we have band nights, so for student performances, like yourselves, you can go and perform there. And we also have live music for con students on Fridays at Courtyard. There are other paid opportunities to perform for students. So we've got an upcoming Battle of the Bands that is going to be happening sometime this year for you to enlist and get paid. Again, we have the band nights, the Courtyard sessions, and like I said, there are music festival opportunities that will be coming up later in the year. We also have parties that run on the Camperdown campus. You are more than welcome to come and join. We also have, again, student performers who play at those. So if you're a band, a DJ, whatever, you can do that. Yes, that's me, and yes, I am double parked. Then we have the Distinguished Speaker Series. So there's a massive USID network and con network that we really want to tap into. So you have opportunities to ask your role models and your heroes questions. And also to chair some of those meetings. So if you're passionate about a particular USID alum, feel free to contact us and maybe we can get them on campus. Like I believe people like Julia Jacqueline or Koyal are people who played at the con or were part of like the USID experience who might come back and speak. Then we have our newspaper.
Yeah, so Oniswa, you guys might have heard of it. It's Australia's only weekly student newspaper that's endured since 1929, and I'm biased, but I think it's the best. Each week, a vibrant print run of news, satire, analysis, comedy, art and culture guides, what's on, that kind of thing, goes out onto stands around campus, and we want you to write and create with us. So I won't feel offended if you want to scan the QR code. That'll take you to a bit of a sign up. Otherwise, you can come say hi to us on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well.
You'll see the slides. Okay, then we have Pulp Magazine. That's again a cultural magazine, so a bit different to Oniswa. So it mainly deals with fashion, literature, politics, not politics as much, but like comedy, design. So if you're someone who's interested in just kind of student culture and life culture, I don't know what that is, then you'll be interested in Pulp Magazine. So if you're keen to be involved in any of these massive events, if you want to perform in front of thousands of students and open incredible professional acts, please do join the USU. It's completely free. You can upgrade to rewards if you like. You can scan the QR code when you see the slides later. And if you want to be part of the SRC, then
yeah, this is another one. As I said before, come visit us. We're super keen to meet you all, and we'll be upstairs as well, handing out our yearly wall planners, which are always a hit, to keep you organised.
Thank you so much. Have a great welcome week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am just going to briefly hand over to Daniel here, who is from Muse, and they are the Musical Theatre Society. Obviously, we have the new musical theatre degree, so he's just going to give a little spiel about that.
Hey everyone, my name's Daniel. I'm the 2022 president for Muse. We are a main campus-based musical theatre society, and I was talking to Scott about a couple of weeks ago just about presenting to this group in particular, because I believe this is Jazz, MT, drum set. Yeah, so all of you performers out there, we've got fantastic opportunities for you, particularly given the new degree. We'd love for you guys to come and meet us in the Music Cafe. We can tell you more about the society. Just quickly, we have a full calendar this year of 4 main stage musicals, some cabaret performances, and a whole lot of fun social events. We'd love to meet you all. So do come and find us in the Music Cafe. Some of you have already spoken to us. So yeah, hopefully see you after your tours. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. So obviously, hello, my name is Bridget and I am in my 4th year doing Baroque violin and music education. This year I am the president of the CSA. We are a group of students who do our best to make your time at the con as fun and smooth as possible. Some of the stuff that we do includes running workshops to help improve your physical and mental health, including yoga and Alexander technique. More information on that soon. We will have some classes at the start of this semester. We have lots of social events like pub crawls and of course our very exciting annual ball. and generally helping with all your inquiries about information on scholarships or finding a tutor. Most of the small stuff, we like to help you out with that so that the staff can focus on the big things. We are also your point of contact to raise any concerns you have so that we can take them to the staff or the SRC or the USU, anything like that. We have bi-semesterly meetings with the staff, and you'll hear more about that as they happen. Our inboxes are also free at any time for you to send us a message. Our team is currently comprised of 11 wonderful students, including but not limited to your core exec. Yeah, come along. Alex, who is running along here, James, and me. We do the fun stuff like meetings and dealing out money. Next, we have the actually fun people of Martin and Maddie, who are your social execs. They're the brains behind making each year full of opportunities to meet new people and hang out with friends. They have some really good stuff planned for this year, so stay tuned. Next up are our wholesome team of Angelina and Sharina, who are here to make sure that you're doing okay. If you're ever stressing out and don't know where to start to make it better, these lovely girls will point you in the right direction. These two exec members are both very new roles to the team. Isabella and Teresa are our inaugural women's and queer officers. As the names would probably imply, these two are here to represent and communicate the needs of women and queer people at the con. And finally, we have our last two execs, Jessica, who is not here today, and Sebastian. Jess is the one who's in charge of creating all the wonderful marketing that you'll be seeing on all of our socials, and Seb is the magic man who helps us out with anything that we need him to do. Now, it may seem like we already have quite a big team, but we would like to get more of you involved. We have several unfulfilled positions that we would love for you to think about filling. We'll be holding elections for these positions later in the semester, and there will be more information on what these roles require. Feel free to come and have a chat to any of us at any point if you're really keen and want to know more before that. So obviously we have our First Nations officer and ethnocultural officer and international student general exec, which all carry requirements to be able to fulfill those roles. And then we have the first year general exec, which can just be any first year. If you ever need to contact us, there are so many ways that you can do that. Obviously we have our socials DMs, which we regularly check and reply to. If it's a quick question, just send it there. But if it's something more complicated, send us an email and we'll be able to give you a more comprehensive response. We're also all moderators on the current students' Facebook, so if we see something in there and we can help out, we will do so. We have also made a link tree with some of the websites and resources to help you survive the first few weeks at uni, which you would have received this morning. Angelina would have given you all one. If you have lost that, come and see me, we have some more. Just another quick reminder, please do sign up to the CSA. Having you all as registered members of our society helps us get funding to actually support you guys. So whether you guys want merch or not actually depends on whether or not you sign up. And hoodies are so excellent, so, you know, it's up to you. Now, we have a little something special to share with you all. Welcome to the premiere, and like official premiere, of the 2022 CSA music video, which you actually get to see before like everyone else. I didn't even watch it this morning, so this will be interesting.
And we pass and surety digital, composition, education, theatre, classical, and yep, we got musicology too. There's so much more that you can do, like join a club or maybe two. Run to main campus, next bring me to. Have a look and see what they're up to. Feel like jail, save me, feeling this time I might fail. Can't even play one scale, you know that. Can't keep up with emails, you know that. Call me to a friend, waiting for the end, not lying, feeling, you know that. Got me rehearsing past 6, you know that. Control and slow the pace, let's go back. Let's forget real. Love letters for feels, and now it's born for appeal. Oh, wait, and can you listen more? Pay attention, you've got lots of things to prove.
Oh,